Today this video will show and describe the steps to install an AutoWarp 4 on a Carl Mayer knitting machine model KS3EBC. This machine was equipped with a control that uses terminal strips to connect to the machine. When we finish this installation, the more modern X plugs will replace the machine wiring interface. The first and most important action to take for this installation is to disconnect the three-phase power coming into the machine. All of the high power wiring will be physically handled during this install, and it is imperative that the main power is disconnected and locked out. Please refer to your company's guidelines for the proper way to guarantee the safety of all personnel during the installation. The first step in the AutoWarp 4 installation is to remove all the beam motors, associated wiring, and the beam encoders. The new motors have an integrated encoder and there is no need for separate wiring or encoder mounting. Removing the existing encoder will require that the computer connections are removed as well. The old encoders, motors, and wiring can be discarded. The new AutoWarp 4 motors will not match the mounting holes on the casting for the beam drive. AEI has supplied a template to locate the new motor mounting holes. This template uses the existing mounting holes as reference. Mount the template with the existing holes. Inspect the drill area before tightening up the screws to be sure there is enough casting area for the new mounting holes. Use the template on all beam drive castings. Mount the new motors and tighten the screws. A motor pulley has been provided to match the existing pulley used on the gearbox. Once the motor is mounted, insert the pulley and align it with the existing pulley. The new pulley has a tapered bushing for attaching to the motor shaft. Tighten the two screws in alternating fashion until the pulley is secure. The two pulleys must be in perfect alignment to guarantee long belt life. The existing main shaft encoder will be replaced with the new AutoWarp 4 encoder. This new encoder is designed to directly replace the existing encoder. Remove the encoder bearing assembly, loosen the set screw on the internal coupler, and remove the encoder. If the coupler is not broken or fatigued in any way, discard the coupler supplied with the encoder and use the existing coupler. If not, remove the old coupler before installing the new encoder. The mounting holes, shaft sizes, and etc. are the same as the older encoder. Pack the coupler with heavy grease for long life of the connection. Connect the encoder cable assembly and then remount the encoder bearing assembly. Be sure to keep the pulleys in alignment and carefully rotate the eccentric to tighten the belt. Be sure to align the belt with the existing pulley. Be sure the main power is disconnected. The first step is to disconnect all the external wiring in the control box. This includes the motor, jog motor, heaters, push button switches, and etc. Be sure to label each wire with the terminal strip number where they were connected. This will be used as a cross-reference to connect the X plugs later. It is especially important to keep track of the L1, L2, and L3 connections for the main power and the corresponding connections to the main motor. Interchanging any one of these wires will cause the main motor to run backwards. Motor rotation will also be verified later in the installation process. Remove all stop motion controls, such as the scan air or scanner boxes and any other rack counters, lights, and etc. Again, be sure to label each wire as to where it is connected for future reference. When the wiring has been labeled, remove the control box and computer. Move the new control box to the appropriate place near the machine. Note that the new control box has X plugs for machine wiring. Many of these wires will have to be connected to the machine master junction box. At this time, it is necessary to verify the location of the main machine switches. The run, stop, jog, flutter bar, and other terminal points need to be verified with a digital voltmeter before connection to the X plugs. Please make careful and complete notes of all switch inputs corresponding to machine terminal numbers. Please refer to diagram number 23052 to locate the corresponding X plug terminal number, documented old terminal number, and the verified master junction box terminal number. Terminate all wires with crimp ferrule pins before making connections to the X plug or to the master junction box. Pull on the wires to be sure the crimp is solid. Follow the connection diagram and the connections notes that were taken to make all machine and AutoWarp 4 connections. On some older machines, certain functionality may not be installed. Items such as oil cooler, oil heater, and etc. have connections in the AutoWarp 4 control box. However, any functionality that is not installed on the machine must be jumpered out for the machine to be able to run. See diagram 22777 for the relevant information and connection points. The sample displayed here shows jumpers to remove safety thermostat and oil level functions. Refer to drawing 22901 for a schematic representation of the control connections. Notice that the scanner and scan air connections for run and stop motion are shown here also. Drawing 22777 also shows the external stop motion connections and the various options for reset signals. The user can connect to 120 VAC, 220 VAC, 24 VDC, or choose a dry contact for the reset function. Please refer to the operating manual for the installed stop motion devices to choose the appropriate connection. The external stop reset connections are shown on the XH plug listing. The AutoWarp 4 comes with several diagrams that are important for this installation to be quick and error-free. The list of diagrams is as follows. Number 1. Disconnect the main motor drive belt. Number 2. It is best to have the beams taped out. Lay in the yarn after this startup procedure. Number 3. Review all connections, in particular the high voltage connections. When ready, reconnect main 3-phase power to the box. Number 4. Observe the display is active. Carefully verify the 3-phase power is present on all phases and correctly terminated. Number 5. Set the oil temperature controller to the desired temperature and control points. Instructions on how to change the temperature set points are available from AEI or Omega website. Factory settings for the temperature controller are set point 40 degrees Celsius, cooler on at 42 degrees Celsius, stop the machine at 45 degrees Celsius. The heater will activate at 37 degrees Celsius when the machine is standing. Number 6. Activate the run switch and verify the main motor operation. Number 7. Activate the stop switch and see the motor is stopped. Number 8. Activate the jog switch to see the jog motor run. Number 9. Activate the run switch and verify all safety switches will stop the motor. This will be the flutter bar switches as well as other safety features connected in the machine master terminal box. Number 10. Start machine and auto-tune the VFD. See AEI instructions for details. Be sure to set the correct machine speed. Number 11. Reconnect the main motor drive belt. Refer to Operator's Manual for next steps. Number 12. For each beam drive, verify correct motor rotation with the beam jog switch. If rotation is incorrect, reverse the rotation for that beam in Beam Setup menu. Page 6 of the manual. Number 13. Measure the beam circumference. Accuracy here will result in accurate runner lengths. Be sure the tape is flat when pulled around the beam. Measure the circumference to at least 1/16 of an inch. Enter the circumference for each beam in the beam data display. Page 4 in the manual. Number 14. Using the beam ticket information, enter the turns or yardage. Only one is necessary to enter. Number 15. For closed loop systems. Measure the follower wheel diameter and enter this value in the machine setup display menu. This measurement is critical for accurate runner lengths as well as accuracy as yarn is consumed. Number 16. Start the machine and check the runners for accuracy. A. For open loop system errors, if the beam circumference is accurate, the runner length will be accurate. Check that measurement and the runner length measuring system being used for errors. It is not a good idea to change the runner length value to correct errors. B. For closed loop system errors, if the beam circumference is accurate, the initial runner length will be accurate. If the runners begin to be off after a short time, the follower wheel measurement should be reviewed. Any correction should be made to this measurement. C. For either open or closed loop systems, if the runner lengths begin to be off after several hours of runtime, the error is in the turns or yardage measurements. See number 14 for the procedure to estimate turns or yards for partial beams. Congratulations! You have successfully set up your AutoWarp 4 and it is now ready to be operated.